Nessler, joined by the coach, Lee Corso, and the quarterback, Kirk Herbstreit. Mother Nature has served up perfect weather for today's game between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Kansas State Wildcats. And here come the Wildcats. The Jayhawks expect big things from their guys today. Who do you have winning this one, Kirk?
Kansas doesn't fear any passing.
And lower that. What's up, everybody? To Sports Goofs number 82. I'm joined by my good friends, Andrew and Charles.
Hey, everybody.
By the way. Yeah.
Hello.
Nothing of any note is happening today except that it's Happy National Sandwich Day according to Freddie. And I had a burrito, so I did the opposite of that.
I had a chimney. There you go.
Oh, okay. I had a
You see, Andrew, I do like chimneys.
Freddie had wings. All right, everybody's got their food of choice today. And Andrew actually was held us up tiny bit because he was having dinner too. So everybody's.
Did you have a sandwich, Andrew? Did you celebrate and happy Sandwich Day?
Oh, I had arroz con pollo.
Ooh, qué bueno. Muy bien.
Mixed in with a little bit of vegetables.
What, like, did you make it yourself, or was it like a pollo tropical or from some other place in Miami?
It was rotisserie chicken that we got from what's that place called? Costco.
Yeah.
And
never heard.
And I drew a blank for a second, and then some hell is that stuff called? Yellow rice from I don't know.
Okay. In the background, I've got NCAA football 11, so we're going to talk some college football later on today. On the bottom right corner, I have a Sonics playthrough from my YouTube channel because there's not any sports happening today that we can stream at the very least bottom there and get suspended from YouTube again for. This is solely football from here on out, and but we got some stuff for you guys today. I think we'll have time to do all of these. NFL Week 8, College Football Week 9. Andrew, I think I can today put your goal horn knowledge to the test.
Excellent. I told Freddie about this, and I think he's excited. I don't know.
Okay. Got all of my small segments as well, and I want to jump into the first one because I found this one very interesting. So, player we remember to forget, or we remember past athletes in the four major American pro sports. Anyways, today, my good friends, his name is Ron Miller.
There's so many Ron Millers it could be.
Uh-huh. Well, this Ron Miller was an end. He played at USC out in Southern California. He was undrafted, but he played one season in NFL, 1956 for the Los Angeles Rams. Played in 7 games, only had 129 yards and 11 receptions.
Hey, Francisco, since we have a Notre Dame fan in here, I have a trivia for you guys. Freddie, don't answer it because I know you'll get it in 2 seconds. But I want to see if Francisco and Charles can get it. What is the name of the rivalry trophy between USC and Notre Dame?
The private college trophy. I don't know.
That would have been funny.
The Aunt Becky trophy.
The Ku Klux Trophy? No, it was okay.
Oh my God. We're already going there? All right.
It's election day, baby.
Freddie, you'll have to correct me on my pronunciation, but it's called the Jewel Shillelagh.
Okay.
And
it's
it is
pretty cool and call it Shillelagh.
Bejeweled.
The Jeweled Shillelagh.
Not sponsored by the game Bejeweled.
And it's I don't know what it is, but it's
Sounds
a
Irish.
cool-looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Irish club.
Mm. Well,
So how does the University of Southern California get to dictate a very Irish
didn't
trophy?
some wrestler use a shillelagh?
Yeah, it's Finley.
Oh, it's
All right.
shillelagh. My bad.
Yeah,
Not
shillelagh.
shillelagh. It's shillelagh.
Freddie, it was
Shillelagh.
Fit Finley, also known as Dave Finley, who is one of the best underrated wrestlers out there. DB Clover. They had a storyline in WWE with him having Hornswoggle as his sidekick, and we beat you with Shillelagh when he was with King Booker.
Okay. Where is it though? Where are we? Oh yeah, Ron Miller. Sorry, dude. This guy deserves some respects, my good friend.
I apologize. It just I made the connection between USC with Ron Miller and then having a Notre Dame fan in here.
Well, Ron Miller, that was his NFL career. Then he was done after 7 games. But at the time, he was married to a woman named Diane Disney, who just happened to be Walt Disney's only daughter. He played. He played at with the Los Angeles Rams. He was an Army veteran. I think he was getting his brains beaten in playing in football in the 50s. All right, so Walt Disney was like, I don't know if he retired at halftime, but Walt Disney was like, listen, you're getting your brain smashed in. I don't want you to die out there. Why don't you come work for me? And he's like, okay, sure. So he got lucky there, and of course he met Diane Disney at USC. He went into the Army for a couple years and came back and was being groomed to be an executive at Disney. Produced a few movies as well along the way, and by 1983 he became the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. But he was replaced in 1984. And some sort of coup, in a sense, and Michael Eisner and crew were put in there. So yeah, that's Ron Miller. All right. So I've been watching a lot of Disney or theme park like history over the past week or so, and this popped up, and the guy mentioned that he played for the Los Angeles Rams. Like, oh, easy, play, remember, forget. Boom, got that out of the way.
One of the most interesting ones, too, because
basically
being a bad football player has a great benefit if it involves you succeeding and becoming president of Disney at some point.
Yeah. Oh, boy. All right, so let's get into, I think we can talk about college football. That's a good segue, right? We're here.
Mm-hmm.
So college football, let me take a look at what I got here. As far as our teams are concerned, we can get that out of the way because I think we have a Fred rank for that, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
I'm a bit distracted, but let me pull that up for you.
I'll just rattle off what happened to our team. So.
All right, I'm sending those over to the chat right now.
FIU is still COVID issues.
And
FAU.
they got their next game canceled against your beloved UTEP.
Yep. FAU won against UTSA 24-3. FSU thankfully did not play. UCF got a victory.
Getting back on track.
44-21. Nice spanking there. And the Hurricanes were also off last weekend. As far as top 25 games are concerned, Penn State lost to Ohio State. 38-25. Number 6, upset. Oklahoma State lost to Texas 41-34 in overtime.
Texas is still not back. If anyone tells you that Texas is back, tell them to just go away.
Go away. Get
I
out.
feel like Texas is the college that is the guy who still wears a fanny pack.
Well, they're number
but he's
22
like,
now, so they went back to the top 25. So
Right, but they're inevitably going to lose.
well then. All right.
For them, back is 2005, 2004.
Vince Young days.
Right. Hey, Freddie. I'm getting a trigger warning here. Bush push.
Yeah. Let's see.
And believe it or not, no.
Okay, you said this already.
I'm not gonna tell the story of it, but Bush push.
All right, so it's better than a butt fumble, right? Let's see what else we got here. So, of course, our favorite overrated football team, number 13, Michigan, lost to Michigan State, 27-24.
Trash. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Yes, indeed. Number 15, the basketball school, UNC, lost to UVA. As they should. UNC, what are you guys doing? Come on now. You guys know you're a basketball team. The football gods will not allow you to succeed. All right? Number 16, Kansas State lost to West Virginia, 37-10. And those are the upsets and or top 25 teams that lost over the past week. There, let me try and get this Fred rank up. Where are you? Where is it? There. Oh, no, that's the NFL one. Whoopsie daisies. Let me change that. So a nice lot of games and with some. I always like when Michigan loses to Michigan State. It's always a treat.
I think Harbaugh's record, he only has like 1 win to like 7, losses in something of that nature to rivalry teams, including Ohio State and Michigan
the
State.
NFL one? Which one is this one, Andrew? Oh, you sent 2. Never mind. Whoopsie daisies. I put the wrong one. There's the college one. Save. Get back here. All right, there it is. Let's stretch that out a bit. Number 1, he's got Alabama, then Ohio State, then Clemson, then Georgia, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, Texas A&M, Indiana, that horrible team from Gainesville, BYU, Miami, Oklahoma State, Marshall, Boise State, Oregon, Northwestern, Oklahoma, Coastal Carolina, our favorite name pronunciation team, the Chanticleers. Iowa State, Texas, Auburn, SMU, Penn State, Nevada, Purdue, Southern California, Virginia Tech, San Diego State, and Appalachian State. So that's the Fred rank so far in this season.
He says it's not the current one.
I wonder if Trevor Lawrence will commit football seppuku so he avoids being drafted by the Jets. I wonder if that could happen.
Well, I mean, Andrew Luck did it because he didn't want to go to Panthers. That's what led to Cam Newton get in there.
The current one has UM as the best Florida team, right? Not yet. They're a couple spots down. Well, we'll see. He's got them playing the Cheez-It Bowl. Let's see what else. Rose Bowl, Sugar, Orange. Alrighty. Myrtle Beach. No, this one is fine. That NFL one was old. Yeah, that was from last week. But this is it. I think he's a few seconds or so behind. Alright. Anything of note from you guys as far as last week's college football? I'm trying to squeeze this in so we can do our other segments, especially the goal horn thing. I don't know how long that'll take for us.
It's pretty well. Now, big news is the. Sorry, I'm eating some cheesecake.
Throw it in, why don't you?
Mountain West and Pac-12. No, not Mountain West. Sorry, the MAC and Mountain West. God damn it, the MAC and the Pac-12 are starting this week. So we will now have all 10 conferences, FBS conferences, going.
Okie dokie. So we're at full capacity-ish, given the way things have gone this year. He's got UCF and FU meeting the Boca Raton Bowl. Sure, Andrew, you would have loved to cover that.
I know.
Okay. Let's see. Can we get a small segment out of the way here to transition? Just want to just talk about this. There was, I can talk a little bit about some baseball news.
There's the finalist awards too.
The final awards are coming out soon enough. My boy Don Mattingly is nominated for National League Manager of the Year. He should win it because his opponents are Jace Tingler, who is a manager that actively told his best player to suck because of the unwritten rules, so he should be disqualified. And the other one is David Ross, who started in a beer commercial, and his team lost to Don Mattingly's team. Therefore, he should not win either. So Don Mattingly should win the National League Manager of the Year award.
That's fair.
As far as the American League, you got Kevin Cash.
Boo! Oh, sorry. Yay!
And I forgot who the other guys were. Who was it? Who were the
Rick Renteria. Yeah.
Rick Renteria, that's right, and the manager for Toronto. And
don't you kind of want Rick Renteria to win?
Yes.
I'll tell you right now, like I do, because that's the biggest FU statement I've ever seen in my life for a guy to win Manager of the Year and then proceed to get fired by his team, or to fired and then he goes from there. So what's the Mississippi? Because you fired him just to get what's his face, Tony La Russa, which, you know what, on the grand scheme of things, not a bad hire. Mm-hmm. Usually the whole problem is, from what I've been reading from ESPN, from the columnists, is that they're afraid of it being a cronyism or oh boy, but that's all of sports. Yeah. All sports are always going to give a chance to the manager that has a very well-built repertoire. And Tony La Russa is basically baseball legend, right? For just being a competent manager.
Yeah, I don't think he's had a bad stop along any sort of way. At least his teams have made the playoffs. He won the World Series in Oakland, won in St. Louis.
Multiple times. Let's not discredit. It's not a one-time gig, folks. To be a multi-champion with the best players. Because I went 2 in Oakland.
It wasn't
two in Oakland.
He won 1 in Oakland. He went to 3 World Series in a row in Oakland. That's right. And then had the 2 in St. Louis that he won. And, of course, the last one before he first retired, and now he's back. So we'll see what happens there.
Perfect team for him, too, because it's the White Sox. In theory, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
just sign some veteran free agents and get it going.
Jose Abreu is going to be your AL MVP, so you can hold on those laurels, even though he doesn't deserve it. But nor does DJ LeMahieu, whom I love, and we tendered him, so that's good.
Yeah. Let's see. Better know minor league team. I want to get these 42 teams that are on the chopping block. Thanks to Rob Manfred, the evil man. And he's got some horrible ideas that I'm just seeing on Twitter every time somebody posts something that he says. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Why? No neutral site World Series, please. All right, so even though Miami will probably host a ton of them, but it doesn't make any sense even in that scheme. And cities like Minnesota and all those other places are going to hate it. It'd be hard to host a New York game. The NFL took forever to get to New York. Imagine Major League Baseball when the Yankees not playing in New York in the World Series at Yankee Stadium.
It'd be very sad. But at the rate we're going, it's never going to happen because we won't fire Aaron frickin' Boone.
Well, at least he wasn't nominated for anything. All right.
Oh, he's nominated for Best Trash Manager.
Binghamton Rumble Ponies. They play in Binghamton, New York. So they've been based there since 1992. They are the AA affiliates of the New York Mets since 91. They play in the Eastern League, which is one of the leagues that's going to get hit hard with this proposal for Major League Baseball. They've already come out with the first, or it's leaked out the first type of plan for it. It makes a lot of teams have close regional affiliates. Like the Marlins would get one, and it would be Jupiter, Jacksonville and Pensacola would be the three that would be for the Marlins. I'm like, well, that makes sense. They're all in Florida. They're all nautically based teams. The Blue Wahoos, the Jumbo Shrimp, and the Hammerheads. So it all makes sense too. But it also sucks that 42 teams and cities are going to have to find some other way to get into another independent league or do one of those summer collegiate leagues or something just to stay alive, or just completely shut down. But yeah, Binghamton Rumble Ponies. Their last championship was in 2014. They won 3. They've been the affiliate of the Seattle Mariners. And where the heck did this thing go? Okay. And the Cleveland Indians. Before, they were the Binghamton Mets for a long time, and they changed to Rumble Ponies. And before that, they were in Williamsport as the Bills early on in their history back in '87. This is their notable roster and alumni. Mark Hargrove, as far as managers, Mark Hargrove, Clint Hurdle, and Luis Rojas. He's the current manager of the Mets. And alumni, and even one guy who's currently on the roster. You got Pete Alonso. All right. Edgardo Alfonso. Everybody remembers him from the late 90s, early 2000s Mets. David Wright. Jose Reyes. Jacob deGrom, who's nominated for the Cy Young this year. Noah Syndergaard. Daniel Murphy, and Tim Tebow currently plays for that team.
Bleh. I forget that he's still there. Is he the most successful minor leaguer?
Has
to be, right?
No, Michael Jordan.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah.
Without question, either.
Yeah, exactly. So 142 teams. They play at NYSEG Stadium in Binghamton, New York. Opened in 1992, holds 6,012 fans, and they hosted a Double-A All-Star game in 1994. So that's it for the Rumble Ponies. I just like the name Rumble Ponies.
Rumble Ponies is fantastic.
Yeah, great minor league name. Be sad to see it go. All right, I don't have a graphic for this, but I told Andrew about this segment that I wanted to get here. All right, I've tentatively called it for now, and it probably won't change now that I'm going to do this. This segment's being called Uncultured Swine.
I don't, and newsflash, sometimes Francisco does not tell us about what he has planned out. It's at first blush, so I'm very excited about this.
So Uncultured Swine is us learning about sports and teams outside of our little bubble here in North America, and especially the 4 pro sports here in the USA. All right, we want to be cultured swine, so we're gonna try and learn about rugby teams and soccer teams and yes, the CFL included. Freddie, we'll get to the CFL. Don't worry.
There's just the Toronto Argonauts, though, Fred. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, the Montreal Alouettes. And I think we named every Canadian football team at one point, right, Andrew? I think we were able to get all of them. So
eventually, yeah.
Yeah. So my first entry, let's start softly. We're gonna work our way up to some of the stranger sports, at least to us out there. But for now, we're gonna do the Oryx Buffaloes. So the Oryx Buffaloes, they play in the Nippon Professional Baseball organization, which is the Japanese league, if you want to call it that. They were established. They've got a weird history. I've read somewhat of the Japanese baseball history, and a lot of teams merged, I think, recently in like the early 2000s just to save money and things like that. So the history here is a little weird, but we can trace this team's founding to 1936. All right, we're sponsored by HyperX keyboards today, again. So yesterday I was sponsored by Destiny 2 on my stream. That was
really?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so but they merged with another team, I think Hankyu, which used to be called the Hankyu Club, and then became the Hankyu Braves. And I think sometime around in 2005 they combined the teams and merged, but they used to be called the Buffaloes, the Kentetsu Buffaloes, until 1949. They became the Pearls, and then they became the Buffaloes. Or no, I think they merged with the Kentetsu. I keep confusing myself because I forgot. It's like 3 teams that kind of merged. In 1989, the Oryx Blue Wave were created. And, yeah, they've won 4 championships, but the last one was back in 1996, so they haven't won in a long while. And notable alumni, Chan-Ho Park. Okay, Kareem Garcia. Ryan Vogelsong. This is a good one. Charlie Manuel, back when he used to play. He played out in Japan. Hideo Nomo. Adam Jones, that's where he went this season. So he played his 2020 season for this team. And finally, the greatest player of all time for them, Ichiro.
Muy bueno.
They play at the Kyocera Dome, and this place has a wild looking dome structure. Hold on, I gotta find it here. Where is it? Come on, where's the entry here on the thingy? Kyocera Dome. Okay, I'm gonna have to type it in. They play at the Kyocera Dome. It looked pretty gnarly to me. All right, so that's the Kyocera Dome. I've never seen a dome structure like that. Do you guys see it? It looks like, I don't know, it looks like a jellyfish or something.
Yeah, it looks like a jellyfish, but it kind of I'm trying to think. It kind of looks like the cap of like one of the little things in Mario. I don't know the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Cap for I'm not even sure.
Like that little thing that's when you go to the underground level. Like in the mines.
Okay.
I'll find a picture of it. You do your thing.
Dome. So that's the Kyocera Dome. That's a Pokemon. Oh, yeah, that's true. It looks like a Pokemon gym. That's like the water gym or something. That's what that looks like. I bet you in Pokemon Stadium they might have like a model like that, or maybe they modeled something like that in Pokemon after this building. So it's in Osaka, Japan. It opened 1997. 36,627 for baseball, and they also partially share it with the Hanshin Tigers, another team in the league, because I think for a few weeks or something, or like a couple weeks, their baseball stadium is used for the high school baseball tournaments. And if you guys don't know, in Japan, like baseball is the national sport there. They treat baseball over there like we treat football here. It is in high school baseball is like college football here to Japan. It is insane. They go crazy over there for that. I love watching Japanese fans. They're so coordinated. Their chants are so. It looks like a Beso Buru, Black Friday Bundaru. I don't know if you guys remember that episode of South Park, between the Xbox One and the PS4. But anyways, that's the Oryx Buffaloes. All right, so that's the first entry of Uncultured Swine here at Sports Goofs.
There's so much we could do with that.
It's just an informative thing, you know. You just learn, guys. This is about being cultured. All right, we got a little culture there.
It's like a squad to learn a goof.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I guess let me get. Actually, let's do it. Let's do it, Andrew. Are you ready?
Hell yeah! I've been waiting a long time for this.
Okay, so let me see how we're gonna do this, because I don't want you to see what I'm gonna click. So, but I think I can find a way to do it. Don't worry. Let's go back to the search screen here. Let me grab that link to this site, the soundboard, that had all of them there. let's see. Where was that link I had for this so I could do it? I should have had this prepped beforehand. As much as I prepped before for all of this, I should have had it right there. Sorry for the delay, folks. Whatever, I can edit this on when I put this up on the podcast. We're now on several new networks. We gotta redo this whole thing. We're gonna do a facelift at some point for Sports Goofs. Me and Andrew have already spoken a little bit about it. We're gonna do some remodeling here at some point, but don't worry, it'll be fine. Okay, so that's the search screen, and I wonder if I can interact with it without you seeing it. Come on. Okay, so all right, Andrew, we've got what, 31 goal horns here.
Don't do them all. I want to make this a recurring segment.
Okay, that's fine. We can do, let's go with
5.
5. All right, 5. We'll do 5. Okay. And I will try and put something in front of this so you don't see what I'm clicking on. Let's just move this over here. You know what? Let's do that. All right, we'll put my Sonic Jam playthrough in the front so nobody can see it. All right, Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn, best Sonic compilation ever made. Okay, so Andrew, I'm gonna do the first one right now. So you tell me when you're ready.
I am ready.
You are ready. All right, so 3, 2, come on. 1.
Needs to be louder.
Louder.
2nd down and 10 to go. The Wildcats come out showing 3 wide.
Much louder.
Much louder? I just cranked that up to 11.
I can't hear it.
Oh, really? Did you hear? Oh, no, I think oops. Let me do this again. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I know where I made my mistake. All right, we'll redo this.
I have a pretty good idea of who it is just from what I heard, but I don't want to say anything until I really hear it.
Okay, now I think I can get it. Let me mute the football game in the background so we don't get any interference from that. I'll mute the whatever. All right, so let's try it again. Hopefully this is as loud as it can possibly be. So let's try it again. I'll do the same. Actually, I don't think I can rewind. So let me redo a different one. Let me do a different one. All right. Can you hear that?
Nope.
You can't hear that?
Nope.
At all.
Like, play it on your phone and put it next to your microphone. It'll work. I'd rather hear it than have fantastic quality.
What's going on? Why is there a large horn being played? Oh, you're not listening to the track on the Twitch, are you?
No.
Oh, no wonder you don't hear it. Okay.
So I need to put it on the Twitch.
Yeah, you need to hear that. All right. So,
All right. Give me a second.
Yeah, Freddie can hear it because it's going straight to the stream.
Gotcha. So I don't listen to the stream because of interference.
The echo and stuff like that.
So, all right. So you guys shut up. I'm gonna listen.
Okay. So, do you want me to do it again?
Yes,
Tell me
please.
when. One.
Go whenever.
Okay, go whenever. Okay, how about now?
Wait, now I can't hear the Twitch stream.
I mean, you can't hear the Twitch stream.
Hold on.
We have Goofs in our name for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Give me a second.
How about
Hold on.
rest in peace, headphone users.
There we go.
I put this on the podcast.
I got
Your
it.
ears are gonna explode.
Can you do it one more time?
I hear it.
I heard it.
Alright, let me lower it. I'm not gonna crank it up to 11 next time. I think I'm gonna just actually really make some people's ears bleed.
Okay. So
Do you want a hint?
No. Give me a second. I'm running through.
I feel like my equivalent of this would be if you put a wrestler's theme song.
Oh, we could do that too.
Except this is harder.
Except WWE would probably copyright strike us like nothing else. I think they've done it before too.
I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but my gut is telling me Ottawa.
Oh my God, that's a good one. You got it. That's all right. Good job.
So are you like the Rain Man of hockey? Because Jesus Christ,
quite possibly.
On a small honk, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. And I didn't want to give you a gimme like Tampa or even Florida because you.
Although,
recognize
believe it
those
or
pretty
not,
easy.
Tampa is really hard because there are 4 teams that have the exact same horn to some varying degree.
Yeah. Okay.
See, the only way you can differentiate is the song.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me the next one.
Next one. Should I give you a gimme or a really hard one? There's some that are going to be so easy that because just of the song itself. Like this one.
Yeah. Chicago.
Yep. Chelsea Dagger. Easy. Always an easy one. Let's try this one. Ready? This is the third one. So you're 2 for 2. Actually, I should probably... hold on, let me do this. All right, RIP headphone users again. Here it goes.
That's a pretty good idea. Oh, that gave it away.
Let me lower this.
Damn it.
Let me lower it.
My initial guess was wrong, but I'm cheaping out and listening for the goal to the goal songs. It's not fair. I shouldn't be. But that one's Arizona.
Yeah. It's not even the goal song. It's just you start hearing the Coyotes.
Right. I'm really cheaping out because the legendary, to use Halo, the legendary version is just listen to the horns and not the goal song.
All right, let's try another one. All right. 1, 2, RIP headphone users. 3.
Washington.
think Washington kind of gives it away with their like they have a bunch of sirens going off.
They do. They're the only one that have sirens anymore.
Yeah.
And they had actually considered taking it away, but the fans were like, "Fuck that."
No, I love the pure chaos and insanity of it.
Exactly.
All right, so that's your 4 for 4. Let me try one that doesn't have a distinct thing. Like the Panthers one is easy, especially like even if you don't recognize it, you start hearing Panther sounds.
I mean, I don't want to say for sure, but from the very little that I heard of the first horn, I thought it was Florida.
Nope, wasn't.
Okay, that again, don't count that as a guess because I barely heard it.
Okay.
Counting it. We're counting it as a guess because you have to be wrong at something.
All right, so let's do the last one here. You're 4 for 4, and I'm gonna try this one.
Or actually, can we go through the top of the hour?
What happened?
Can we go through the top of the hour?
The top of the hour, what?
You know, like go till 8 o'clock, the halfway point, to go into non-sponsors.
Oh well. Oh. I've only got 41-minute mark as far as how long I've actually been doing the show. So that's why I was like top of the hour. Oh, okay.
Okay, so I don't know.
We can do this.
I don't know.
Next time we do this, we'll do a lot better.
I'm having a lot of fun with this, more than I expected.
Let's do this last one for now.
Okay.
Because we have some other smaller set. I don't think we're gonna go as long today as there was not as much to go over. We'll talk some NFL and some of our other segments, but well, actually, let's do 5 more from here. Okay, so we'll do 10. We'll do the first third of the league.
Okay, let's do it.
The Eggman.
I think actually 3 segments would be good. I think having 6 or 7 segments, 6 segments would be a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm. Why is this thing? Actually, why is this going at 440 or 140p? Dear Lord. Okay, there we go. That's a lot clearer on the screen for people who are looking at that muddy mess. That's a lot clearer there. All right, we'll learn about some Sonic history in the background. Okay, let's get back to this. So let's try it again. So we've done 4 teams. This is the 5th one. Ready?
Yep.
RIP headphone users.
Okay, so my initial gut was, I don't know what my initial gut was anymore, but I think it's the Rangers.
No.
Dun-dun-dun.
Huh.
It's not.
So maybe whatever my initial, hold on, what was my initial gut? Hold on, can you play it again?
Again? Okay. Well, I'll just continue it.
No, the Horn 2.
The Horn 2? Alright. RIP headphone users. I can't wait to listen to
Okay, my initial gut was Detroit.
No.
Was not Detroit,
Not
okay.
Detroit.
Alright, give me a hint.
Let's see. I'll give you a division.
Okay.
Central Division.
Central Division, okay. Uncle.
Minnesota.
Ah.
Yep.
See, Charles, I am not infallible.
Humbleness does not look good on you. Stop
Yeah.
this. Stop this lie.
All right, so that's so you're 4 for 5 now. Let's get to the next one. I like this one, so I'm gonna play
right.
this one. All right, folks, brace your ears.
Well, I knew that before the song started, but it was Dallas.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite goal horn.
You know what it is with Dallas? They blow the horn for every goal that they score at that point. So and I think you probably heard it during the Stanley Cup final too. So.
I did. But that one is probably the most recognized. Well, I won't say the most, but one of the most recognizable.
Okay,
and
so
it's definitely in my top 5 favorite goal horns.
that's a good one. Let's go to another one. Let's try this one.
Freddie, what's your favorite NHL goal horn?
Mine? Dallas is good. I always liked how they do that. You guys ever play Sonic? I love Sonic R. Are you kidding me? You know how many times I've beaten Sonic R? People think it's a horrible game, but it's stupid fun.
Freddie, I'm playing Sonic Mania as we speak in the background.
That's why I have a Sonic game in the background. Sonic R is great. I love it. I think I've played it on my channel several times already. It's like, oh, why can't they just do this for a current gen console or next gen console, and just I don't know, check. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to this. Let's Toot Sonic War. That's Sonic CD. Yeah.
Give me horn.
Next one. Good. You got it. Vegas. All right, so that's what, 6 for 7?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the last 3. I gotta pick something.
No, I think 5 for 6.
No, you were 4 for 5, and then. All right, let's do a couple more. All right, let's move on to a randomizer, which is just me scrolling up and down. This one. Go.
Gotta be the Panthers, right?
Yep. You had to have somewhere in the back of your mind that one easy.
It's the only goal horn I've heard live.
Okay.
I forget you've never been to a Lightning game.
That is correct. Well, I went to a. I'm afraid of lightning. I mean, I've been to a Lightning game that was in
Sunrise.
Yeah.
That was actually the game where I busted my ass on the ice. So I think there was a Lightning game that night.
Yeah, that's where all three went. Yeah.
It's because right. I remember because I was intentionally wearing a blue shirt.
The Lightning brought us down to entertain the masses. Or not the Panthers. the Panthers brought us down to entertain the masses. Yeah, that's... Damn, Freddie's hitting it hard with these Sonic references, man. Dear Lord. And I know all of them, too. That's the scary thing. I know every single one. By the way, the opening theme for Sonic movie is legendary. I love it.
Did you ever, and this goes to Freddie too, not to sidetrack it, but we always have to have fun with
the
it.
The anime Sonic movie, not the...
Yeah, okay, that's what I was about to... Not the new one. But did you guys ever see the Disney one where all he loves is chili dogs?
Oh,
what a
the
great
cartoon
time to be
show?
alive. Yeah, what a great time to be alive as a kid.
Oh, and the fact that it's canon in the video games now.
Yep.
So
And then there's Sonic Boom, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Sonic.
The TV show was surprisingly good in season 2. Like for Sonic fans, they made a lot of references to not only Sonic but some other video games. Somebody did that with some sort of type of love. All right, let's see. Let's get down to the last two. Ready?
Shit.
Let me know.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
That's New York. Wait. Hold on.
Which one? There's two of them.
Islanders.
Play it again.
I just want
Well,
to
he
hard.
just gave you the answer.
Oh, was I right?
No, it wasn't the Islanders, but I said that you were wrong. Therefore, the only other choice is the Rangers.
Man. I failed you, Senpai.
Here, play it one more time, please.
Oh,
I didn't hear it actually.
okay.
I was hearing. It was overlapping talking between the stream and us, so it was
It's going right now.
Oh, that's the Rangers.
There we go. All right, you got it.
All I heard was Charles yell out, "Islanders!"
So you admit that you needed me.
Oh.
That's right.
I'm
your Joan of Arc.
I will admit, the Islanders' goal celebration is probably my most favorite. The yes at the end.
Oh yeah.
That is, even the Panthers played them in that play-in round, and I was like, because I think they still played the yes, and after they scored a goal, I'm like, that's so awesome. Such a great chant. All right, so that's the Rangers are the only team with a custom team song for their goals.
The Rangers?
Yeah, it's a custom song. It's not a licensed song. They made their own song. That is a New York Rangers song.
What about the Dallas Stars song?
No, I don't think the Star. From what I know for now,
it literally says Dallas Stars in it.
Oh, maybe they got one too. But I know the Rangers were the first one to do it, to have their.
I mean, I don't know how much more.
Yeah.
Customized that can be.
Yeah, they go. What is it? Dallas Stars, like that, right? Something like that.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, the Rangers they were the first one to yeah, you know what? Screw licensed music. We're gonna do our own thing. So. Which takes the guesswork out of it, because for some teams, every season the Panthers change it every 3 years or something like that. So,
which I absolutely hate.
Well, because the team changes every 3 years and they can't get good, so it
Fair.
makes sense. There's no theme that's just they had the '96 theme for their 2016 run, which was nice. I'm like, oh, and it was it that hey na it was that song?
Everyone used that,
but not nowadays anymore. I'm like,
right,
wait,
because Gary Glitter was.
And I was like, they could just have that now, because not everybody uses that now, and it's a '90s.
But you know the
callback.
reason why no one uses it anymore, right?
Oh, because there's some really bad issues with the guy who wrote that song. So.
Gary Glitter.
Yes. So we won't talk about that no more. All right, let's talk about Chris Benoit.
Oh my god.
Just kidding.
And now for something completely different.
Hey, look, a HyperX Fury DDR4 for your gaming needs, folks.
Or use it to post your opinions on Twitter after today's results. Either way, get that keyboard because you want.
Oh no, this is a DDR4. This ain't a keyboard, man.
Oh no.
No, this is put it inside that gaming PC of yours. All right.
Yeah, so you guys can create The Sims. Let's do it. I love when people put in all that high-end technology just to be like, Solitaire is my favorite game.
Or what I do. Hey, let's play some PS2 games now.
We don't even have 4K upscaling. What is this?
My 20th anniversary of the PS2, by the way. All right, let's go to the last one, all right? Last one for tonight. We're at the 55-minute mark. We can do this, and maybe I can get one last small segment out of the way. I got a ton of them. So let's do it. Here we go. You ready, Andrew?
Yep. Montreal.
Oh, very good.
Ever.
I think you were batting 900 for today, dude.
That's
Charles Zoe for one.
It's Montreal. Montreal, Carolina, Dallas, LA. There may be one or two others that I'm not thinking of that are just the horn itself. Well,
Yeah.
Washington, obviously. That are just, I would know it right the second I hear it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was fun. We got 1/3 of the league down. Hopefully, Seattle will pick their horn sometime soon so we can hear it.
A lot of people want them to do a Nirvana song as the goal song.
Yeah. If they're going to go Seattle, let them really go Seattle with it. I agree with that sentiment. Now, if you're going to go real Seattle, with Starbucks coffee and you get the grunge music going, yeah, do it. Have some guys tossing fish across the arena. That'd be great.
Nashville has its catfish.
Yeah, what would be thrown on the ice in Seattle?
Nashville
Starbucks?
has its. Nashville has its
No.
catfish. Detroit has its.
So, was it the arena for Seattle is technically sponsored by Amazon, but they call it Climate Pledge Arena.
Yep.
To bring awareness to the environment and stuff. It'd be really funny if people are littering the ice with empty cups of Starbucks coffee. To a complete opposite of the message they're trying to send.
That's called irony.
Instead of throwing hats on the ice for a hat trick, you throw
Fedoras. Throw fedoras or what else? What do hipsters wear? What else do they wear?
Scarves.
Like a beret or something? I'm not sure.
Ascots, gentlemen.
Yeah. There's only one man that can wear ascots, or two people who can wear ascots. Freddie from Scooby-Doo and Jason Jackson from The Heat.
True.
Okay, so I got... wait, so can I get one more thing out of the... I don't have one of those. No. You know what? Let's just... let's go into a word from our non-sponsors. We're pretty much at the halfway point, so let's do it. All right, guys? Where's the graphic? There it is.
I guess I'll go first since I haven't gone first the last 2 weeks.
Sure, why not?
My non-sponsor. It's actually, hold on.
Look around the room.
No. It's not that. I know what it is, but for some reason I forget the. Aw, thank you, Freddie.
All right. What's our promo code? Technically inept.
A bunch of goofs.
Goose forever.
Hashtag that, baby.
It's like the NWO.
I think you have to pay for that. You asked something about that on Twitter, I think, Andrew. I saw you doing that.
Yeah. So my non-sponsor is Costco. Well, Costco's always good, and I think I've used them before.
Yes,
but
this is probably their second time.
But specifically their cheesecake bites.
Oh, I see. Let's see if we can find that on their website here. Got a bunch of deals. We're going to get to Black Friday soon enough. So, and we will be, and to anybody that's listening, we will be your corporate whores.
Oh,
we have
completely.
we have no qualms. All right.
Oh, wait, hold on. No.
What?
It's not Costco, it's Sam's.
Oh, this is bad. Costco, we will denounce everything about Sam's Club if you forgive us for this transgression.
I hate to admit it, but I always forget what items do I get from Sam's and what items do I get from Costco.
We're going to the competitor now, and
but don't get me wrong, I've already not. They're already a non-sponsor. I love Sam's and Costco equally. Yeah. They are complementary of each other.
November 7th, they're getting some switches in. All right, people can barely find them. Go ahead and get one.
There are some things that Costco has that Sam's doesn't, and then there are some things that Sam's doesn't have that Costco has. So it's link them together, and they.
So cheesecake bites, where are these things? Oh, this is not good for the stomach.
It is not.
Got their
not in the slightest.
Oh, here we go. Cheesecake miniatures. Look at this. $63 individual. That's a weird number to come to. 63.
Could have just put 6 to make it 69.
Or could have called it Cheesecake 64. Come on now. Nice, by the way, Charles.
Thank you. We'll be here all week, folks.
Yeah. Or once a week, at least. Cheesecake miniatures. Look at that. I got New York style, caramel chocolate chip, and a strawberry short. Oh, that strawberry short looks real good. Love me some strawberry. I love anything strawberry for the most part, to be honest. I had some strawberry mochi, frozen mochi the other day. Fantastic. Love strawberry milkshake, strawberry ice cream. Strawberry is just good.
What about strawberry protein shakes? Because I got that.
Yeah, I haven't had a protein shake in forever. I should probably start. Actually, I need to juice at some point.
Roy, Jose Canseco just kicked through my door.
Andrew, where are you, my dude? Is he gone?
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. Anything more to say about Sam's Club and/or the cheesecakes?
I mean,
look, why we love this. Look at this. They have a why we love this segment.
They're very tempting. I mean, they're absolutely delicious, but they're deceptively calorically involved.
Yeah.
So it can get out of control really easily.
There it is, right there, right on the screen.
Like seriously out of control.
6 pieces is 450 to 460 calories.
Precisely.
There's 63 of those things.
Precisely. Like I said, it can get out of control really, really fast.
Like when you say bite size, like what are we talking here?
Like
a Post-it note?
Yeah, what's bite size, man?
Bite size is okay, so look at your thumb.
Well, we all have different sized thumbs. My hands are notoriously tiny.
Fair. I'm trying to
like in relation to something square, let's say.
Well,
or a game controller. Or a battery. I'm not sure.
It's
or candy. Like the size of like a bite-sized crunch or something.
It is the same width and the same length and width of like a mini Milky Way. You know, those little squares.
Love those.
But it's like 1.5 of those tall. So it's.
Ah, okay.
So it's a little bit taller than it is.
Yeah.
Than it is wide.
I see.
So they are pretty tiny. It's not recommended that you do it in one bite, but you could do it in one bite. I usually do it in 2. I eat half and then I eat the other. But if you really wanted to, you could do it in one bite.
You gotta savor the flavor there, bud.
Yeah.
That's why you can never do it in one whole bite.
Exactly.
Okay. Only $12, you get 63 little pieces.
But like I said, you got to be real careful with those. It'll get out of hand really fast. So yeah, promo code 2 bites.
2 bites. Cool. Let's see. All right. I guess I'll go second. So, this past week, I've been, like I told you guys, I've been on YouTube. Honestly, YouTube's my favorite media consumption channel website. I just watch everything on there. I don't have cable. I steal cable from my sister on her Comcast account and stuff like that for any sports I don't want to watch. But so YouTube is my primary thing. I love YouTube. I've been on YouTube forever, as you guys know. YouTube has banned us until sometime later this month. I think we have like 2 more weeks on our suspension. Then we'll be back live on YouTube.
November 14th, I think.
And then we will immediately violate their terms and service and be kicked off again. So one thing I've been watching on YouTube has been really great. Why isn't this typing? Come on now. There we go. It's called Defunct Land. I recommend this channel highly, especially for an Orlandoite, or Orlandolian, whatever you guys call yourselves.
Orlandoan.
Yeah, to Andrew, because it goes into the history of theme parks, and of course we know Orlando is theme park country. So we learn about the history of Disney and Universal and even amusement parks across the country. I've learned about stuff in Kansas City and in other states. I think even some in Indiana as well for good old Freddie there. So these guys, and they've got another series called Defunct TV where you learn about old kids shows and TV shows. Legends of the Hidden Temple. You know, who didn't love that show when they were a kid? So, but their most recent season of Defunct Land, season 3, is nothing short of a masterpiece. You have to watch this thing from beginning to end, starting with their first episode all the way to their last one. It is by far probably some of the best, especially on YouTube, best documentaries on the channel. Thoroughly researched, well put together, and I've seen I binged this thing for like an entire week already, and I'm just amazed at how much they got out of this. They interview people that are still alive and stuff, for this, and it's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool learning about these places that we've all visited in some way, shape, or form. We visited something similar to it. Not everybody's had the fortune of going to Disney World, but you know, we live in Florida and we have the fortune of being able to go anytime we want to. And so it's been great. I love it, and I'm just gonna do the promo code. Promo code. Keep your dreams alive.
That's inspirational.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Ooh, Charles, I want you
Yes.
to do one last thing before you do after you do your segment here, all right? Your non-sponsor. Because we do have an actual sponsor aside from HyperX, has been with us for quite a bit now. Hey, look, Destiny 2 just popped up on the screen. They're with us too. Right.
Charles has it. He's played it. He hasn't touched it in forever, but, you know, Bungie has their rights. They can kind of go and do what they want to do now. It's kind of like, you know, it's like breaking up with that crazy boyfriend, cutting your hair. You're a new you. Or, you know, break up with that ex-girlfriend because she got with your cousin. You know, she's already your sister. So those questions is for you people in Kentucky. But yeah, I'll be game for it, friends. I don't know how we got to that portion. I'm just humorous, but yes, I will do whatever you need me
I need
to
you to segue after you're done. And now here's a word for an actual sponsor, something like that. Do your thing at the end, because then it goes into on our podcast a real ad that I had to record and place there. So when we put this on our podcast afterwards, after I do this show, and disseminate it to Spotify, we're on Spotify now.
We're cool.
Google, Apple Podcasts, and Overcast, and a bunch of other places. It'll sound nice and neat when we get there. And I may or may not leave this portion of me instructing you to do it. But who cares?
Okay.
What?
Ready? All right. So anyway, boys, a lot of we love you, Bungie. We wonder why you can't make Halo Infinite. So the world's kind of crazy, gentlemen. We know what today is. Today's a big day. It's the 82nd episode for Sports Goofs. We don't care anything about the world. But life's hitting your boy a little bit. He's been working very hard. Really hasn't had days off, and when he does have days off, people call him. You know, there's the pressures of work, there's the pressures of the world, there's the pressures of humanities, there's the pressures of just making sure I remember to shave, to not look like a hobo. I'm already envisioning life in Bismarck, North Dakota, when I buy my plot of land, and I marry my wife who happens to be a bison. You know, if you guys ever see that episode of Boy Meets World when they see Eric from the future, and they talk about the kids, he's like, I married a moose. That's probably going to be me. So I was like, you know, today's going to be a weird day. Let's do something to kind of like uplift the soul. What can uplift the soul? Not much, right? We don't know. It depends. You know, some people eat Campbell's chicken noodle soup for the soul. I go to Rancho Chico. I go to Rancho Chico Mexican food to get my heart a going. Because I was like, all right, last couple of days, my food has been, you know, just sandwiches. You know, not good sandwiches, regular sandwiches. Not even specially made. There might be one in Jupiter. This is in Palm City in Martin County, but I'll just give them that shout out. But maybe they have one in Jupiter too. But
because I've been to Rancho Chico and Jupiter, and that place is good.
It could be the same thing. You know, everything's a commercial industry, but I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, this is a change. Okay, they got Stewart. Right. Okay.
So you've been. You can understand.
I've been for sure.
So we had talked about it yesterday about chimichangas and what's worth sacrificing for in comparison to, you know, cosmic brownies is a different discussion for a different day.
Oh, but I have been. Yes, Charles.
There you go. So I needed something good, and I went there. I went with my paralegal and the new attorney. I just wanted an excuse to get there as opposed to eating my PB&J for lunch. That'll be my dinner. We'll be depressed that way. But, oh, man, I got to tell you, that lunch, that Rancho Chimichanga, ooh, I got that chicken they marinated with that chicken, boys. Oh, it was just so delicious. It was delicious for my soul. It was so good. With the rice, the beans, put a little of that Cholula hot sauce, or whatever they had, yukata, I think is what they called it. I don't care. It was good. And then, you know, get a little bit of that sour. I put that sour cream on top of it, and I was full. I was ready. I was ready to destroy some toilets in the office, but I didn't because I'm a good human being. I was a good human being. My paralegal, not so much. Sorry, buddy, but when you're gone for 30 minutes, I know what you're doing in there. It's scary. I'd rather you just leave, go home for the day. But, man, it really just kind of, it gave you life in a meeting. When everybody's talking about disaster, when everybody's talking about the end of the world, civil wars, things of that nature, or just need a day off, I say, get yourself a little Mexican life. Get yourself a little chimi to the changa, boys. Get yourself a little chimi to the changa, boys. Arroz con pollo, delicious. Carne asada, delicious. You can get all that variety. Me, I wanted some little chimi in my life because we had talked about it. I was glad I did. Rancho Chico, you know, that's my non-sponsor of the week. You know, what's my promo code? Little Ranch. I don't know. I don't have anything. Yeah, Little Ranch. A little bit of the ranch. That's what we'll go for.
Okay.
And then now, folks, are our actual promoted sponsors of the Sports Goofs, episode 82. Take it away, Francisco.
Oh, that worked.
Did I do it?
Yeah,
Did I do it in sequence?
You did fine. You did fine. What? Freddie, you got something up here. Did you mention my Hacienda update? Oh. Did we? I don't think so. I mean, we did it a couple weeks ago. Not sure if something new happened. Did you go back and enjoy yourself some great old Mexican food?
Oh, right. I'm sorry, Freddie. I made a mistake. I had thought that he had already gone to Hacienda last week, but in fact, I had misunderstood, and he went in the interim between our episodes. And remind me, Freddie, of what you consumed, what you partook in.
Luckily, they have a Rancho Chico. Your website game needs some stepping up because Hacienda Fiesta, dude, they have a fantastic website. Look at that. But if you're too busy because you're making great Mexican food, that's okay too. Don't worry.
Damn it! It's a good Mexican food
quesadilla with steak.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Second shout out to Hacienda. Oof.
Just sponsor us, Hacienda. Just sponsor us. You know you want to.
Plenty of chips with salsa and ranch. Oh boy. All right. So I guess we can move on to our second half here. Let's see. How about we go to... Okay, I did that. All right, because we're not going to talk about much basketball here. There's a bunch of NBA jerseys leaking right now for like city jerseys and stuff like that, but we'll get that when sportslogos.net does like their roundup. And the NHL third jerseys and fourth jerseys are also being announced over time. So we'll get to that at some point too. Oakland, Golden State. Well, yeah, that one's good. The Heat have a new Vice jersey that was a little too blurry for me to make out, so I can't wait till we get a great picture of that one.
Possibly Giannis in a couple future years.
But we're not talking about speculation. We can dream, though. We can dream. So there's that. NHL's got some. Once again, I like the Stars neon green and black jersey. I think it works for them for sure.
Burn.
And the Lightning sorely need a new jersey, and not the Rainmaker, whatever that they had last time, Andrew. Especially now that they're Stanley Cup champions, you guys need something good.
Got that? Can you do white and gold or blue and gold? Gold's a color of champions, buddy.
NHL. Well, the NHL doesn't do us like I know baseball and basketball. They have like gold trimmed jerseys to start out.
Although
the season.
Baseball is only because the Royals did it. They were the ones that started the trend.
Was it them? I thought the Giants did it a season prior to that. Yeah, the Giants did it too.
Okay, so maybe they started it.
But the Royals were the ones that were like, this looks good. We're gonna keep it. Which kind of sort of makes sense.
That would be unfortunate because I much prefer their.
Oh yeah, the clean blue and white jerseys and their powder blues and yeah, those are all great. All right, so I have a Let's Haul y'all for today. I want to talk a little basketball here, aside from praying that we get Giannis here in Miami. Another high-profile guy, Ray Allen.
Oof.
All right.
Love slow Ray.
We love Ray Allen down here. All right. So Ray Allen, NBA Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2018. The man could shoot. Shooting guard. Was a righty shooter. Went to UConn, prestigious college basketball school. Part of that legendary 1996 draft class. First round, 5th overall. Selected by the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they were stupid. And sent him off to Milwaukee. Imagine him with Kevin Garnett. Could you imagine that? Oh, wait. It did happen eventually, didn't it? In Boston, he went to Seattle. Then he went to Boston and ended his career in Miami. And man, here we go. Most career threes in NBA history, including the playoffs. Two-time champion, 2008 in Boston, 2013 in Miami. I saw that legendary shot in person. Oh, just
how was that feeling?
I was silent the rest of that overtime. Like we were standing up, and I didn't say a word. I was in shock. I was in shock of what I was witnessing in front of me. I didn't cheer. I saw the block from Chris Bosh, and I just turned to my sister. I'm like, "We won!" Like I'm not exaggerating here. I was in shock of what I was seeing. I was seeing the yellow ropes come out, and just I was clapping, and I was like, you know what, these guys, they did the best they could. They won last season. All right, we got one, and then things happened, and Ray Allen is forever loved down here for sure now. 10-time All-Star. Number 34 is retired at UConn. Won Olympic gold in 2000. Starred and He Got Game as Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Fantastic movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm. He's a strong advocate, and I mean strong, of the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. And he, every single, I think for the most part, every single team he's been with in his career, he's made it a point to take at least once in every stop, Seattle, Milwaukee, Boston, and Miami, to take his teammates to the museum whenever they were in D.C. to face the Wizards. So he made it a very strong point to do that. And he currently now owns a restaurant called Grown. They've got a few locations here in Miami, including one at Hard Rock Stadium. It's all about organic food. And he lives here in Miami ever since he came here because the people of Boston can go fuck themselves. Paul Pierce can go fuck himself. Kevin Garnett as well. Big Baby Davis, Rajon Rondo, all those guys. All of them can go fuck themselves. All right? Okay?
May I add, for the Ray Allen love, people, we know that Steph is going to break that record at some point. But what people need to understand is that we were not in a situation where Ray played in a different era where your whole first mindset is shoot the three and shoot it as far. It was system, it was clutch, it was get open, it was get it contested, it was be the last guy to get something out of it, you know? So that's what I think people need to kind of estimate and understand about what was so great about him, because even though Steph will eventually break that probably soon for most threes made and the duration of his career, unless he just quits. Freddie says grown. I don't know to what a thing, but I'll attribute all the same.
It's still the 2008 Boston Celtics for their beef. Whatever, man. You guys were aging, and then you guys got traded to the Brooklyn Nets of all teams. So
yeah, and Paul Pierce, you pooped your pants. We always have to say that.
Yes, he did.
And so, did he decide what he's going to retire his jersey with, or he's just going to go, hey, here, a neutral one that says NBA, or whatever his plaque's going to be, or whatever it is?
I'm not sure. I mean, he was great. I mean, he changed his game. He used to be different when he was in Milwaukee, and over time became this amazing shoot. I mean, he's always been an amazing shooter. He says he has I don't know if he was diagnosed with OCD, because that you can attribute that to his shooting prowess. The man shot like 1,000 threes, like
every game.
Yeah, pretty much. And he famously practiced that situation when he made the shot in 2013 in Game 6. So, yeah, man. The Heat have retired Shaq's number, and he was here for only 3 seasons, or 2005, 6, 7, yeah, 3.5 seasons. He was
you retired Michael Jordan's number.
Yeah, no, we retired. Yeah, Riley did that out of respect because Riley is a man that knows the deal.
Real recognizes real, gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the Pat Riley effect.
Yeah. And if no other team is going to do it, because the Seattle Supersonics are in Oklahoma City now. Mm-hmm. I could see a future Seattle franchise there that could retire Seattle numbers just because they want to. I don't know if Milwaukee would, to be honest. They went to one Eastern Conference final when he was there. Boston definitely is not going to. Not right now.
I mean, I like to think Danny Ainge kind of grows up a little bit, though.
I would hope that he could override those other guys. Like, no, we're giving him a freaking night, all right? We're the Boston fucking Celtics. And we now have the same amount as the Lakers because they just tied us in championships. So we have to drum up some history for ourselves now because we're no longer the tippy top now. And the Heat have retired Shaq's number. He left on bad terms, but and Pat Riley does it strategically though to lure free agents here, big guys. Because like, hey, you got Shaq's number up there, you got Zoe, you got Timmy Hardaway, you got D Wade, you got Chris Bosh. He wasn't here too long, but he got his retired. And I could see the Heat doing a 34, putting up there, especially if no other team's gonna do it. Might as well. The man has to have his number retired at some NBA arena.
Especially if he ends up getting employed by the Heat, because you can see it happening.
Or he lives down here. He made his home here. I mean, he loves it here. Why not? Ray Bork got his number retired in Colorado. I always go back to that example, Andrew. I always do. Okay? Ray Bork got his number retired in Colorado. He played there like 2 months, and he's got his number retired in Colorado. This guy's a Hall of Famer. He stayed longer in Miami than Ray Bork did in Colorado. Done deal. Put his number up there, all right? Put 34 up there. Udonis probably going to come back next season, so then Udonis will be the last one from this group. But Ray Allen, man. Good guy. Good guy. All around good guy. All right, so that's let's haul y'all. Let's talk some NFL. Charles, what happened to your Titans, man? What happened? What the F happened?
May I start this the way I've been telling everybody all season long? Our defense is not as good as people think it might be.
But the Bengals?
Part of it is... Yeah, well, the Bengals are a sneaky good team. The Bengals is just a bad team with a lot of good players.
That is true. I mean, was it... What the come on, I'm blanking on the quarterback.
Joe Burrow.
There we go, Joe
Ryan
Burrow.
Tannehill.
Yeah. Oh no, Joe Burrow. He's doing all right, man. It sucks that he's on the Bengals, but
same thing with Justin Herbert. We can say the same thing. But here's the thing: being a rookie on a quarterback, there's only like 1 or 2 teams I can recall throughout the years where you were successful as a rookie, not as just success based and predicated on your style of play, but the team built around you. Those 07 or 08 Falcons and 07-08 Ravens, where both Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan were brought in there because both teams went to the playoffs. I can't think of any right now that led to the same thing, a same mindset. But the Bengals are a good offensive team. They have the weapons, even without Joe Mixon. Gio Bernard is starter quality to help you out. You have, Tyler Boyd, who is just supremely underrated. He's really been their number one for like the last 3 years. It's just, everybody was on the AJ Green, who's just, Lassie in it right now. But hey, you always kind of need a Lassie anyway for any kind of NFL team. You have T. Higgins, who's really just shooting up. That's what he was supposed to be. He was a high-end second round draft pick. He's going to be something good. I don't know who their tight ends are, if they have a quality tight end anymore, because they don't have Tyler Eifert. Remember how that was a very shoot for the moon, land on the star kind of thing. But they've been putting some points up. That defense has been an issue, especially since they traded away what's his face, Carlos Dunlap, who was like a loyalist for them for so long, but they were just being utilized by Lou Amaru, I don't know how to say his name. But for the Titans' purposes, we're just kind of there, and it's like certain players are doing what they got to do. Listen, Corey Davis, number 4 pick out of the I don't remember the college name. I'm not fancy. I know it's like a W somewhere in there. Freddie can tell me if anything. Freddie knows all as an honorary.
Fred Rink up on the screen too.
But, Corey Davis showing up, Johnny Smith was having a period before Corey Davis came in, A.J. Brown's like good, but that's the thing, we're just looking good, right? But our defense is bad because Clowney is not doing Clowney stuff. Clowney was always kind of overrated, at this point. He's just a guy in the building, but that's why his market was so low, and we always said, hey, 1-year deal, because it doesn't hurt us this year to try anything, and I don't think we re-signed him. Then we have the other guy from Vic Beasley, who hasn't done anything, and he didn't even want to be with the team. He was like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm going to be gone for 10 days. It's fine. All our other guys aren't necessarily going there. Our corners are bad. Christian Fuller wasn't playing. I really think this is Dory Jackson's last year. No, Dory Jackson's a very small man as it is. His better role is just being a slot corner and going to as a punt returner, if anything. And then our safeties are just kind of like not going. But we did trade for Desmond King, who had lost some favor.
That's right, trade that Lewis Day.
Yeah, that's another thing we'll highlight of certain team that just doesn't want to pull the trigger because they don't care about Aaron Rodgers and more about Jordan Love. So the idea is, hey, if we have, well, okay, I'm on Sonic Mania. I guess I just beat some things ahead. Cool. But the idea is like, yes, we got Desmond King. However, you got to forget, when you trade for anybody, your team may or may not instantly become better because of it. I think it's a very low possibility that those things happen. You got to learn a playbook. You have to learn a playbook. You have to do things. You still have to excel. You have to get to know the coaches. Coaches, sometimes it's the GM who doesn't consult most coaches about things, so then you have to talk to how your line coach would implement it, how your secondary coach would implement it. We will see. Vrabel, our save for the last couple of years was defense, but really, let's be honest here, the focus was going to change it. It was going to say, hey, Arthur Smith's second full year, Ryan Tannehill got a big contract, Derrick Henry's getting the big contract, Corey Davis may get his option picked up, or no, his option was declined, but he may get a feasible number 2 salary, not like what the Rams would offer, but somebody would want him, right? And you know what? If he's healthy, he had COVID this year, allegedly. We'll see where it takes us. But A.J. Brown's kind of spiraling into a good player. Adam Humphries has been a bust. That's where the focus has been. They want to take away from what Tennessee's reputation was, because for, 20-plus years, it was great defense, no offense, right? So maybe they want to switch that up and go from there. I don't know. But these losses are going to happen. I still think it's going to be a competitive season. And then keeping in mind, too, Indy's not bad. Indy just has the misfortune of having Phillip Rivers being their quarterback.
I mean, they're in first place with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but we beat them, so we technically have the tiebreaker. But this is also kind of the participation trophy season as well, with the everybody gets in, so we can have 2 AFC North representatives, and I don't see why not. I think Baltimore or Pittsburgh would probably get the other one, because the AFC West isn't going to necessarily. I think Oakland kind of chokes a little bit and screws their chances over to get that position. So I like to say we're guaranteed a playoff spot. Freddie, is that the most? Yeah, Bills are overrated. Did we just cut Beasley? Did we? Was that like now today? Because that makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Good. Sometimes you got to do it, man. So he's saying, yeah, good. He wasn't doing anything. It was a 1-year deal, $10 million. We'll pick up some scrub. Dolphins should win out. Bills overrated. So I can't see the Fred rank because I'm blind. Where does he have us positioning? Does he have us getting the AFC South? Or
you guys are you still get a wild card spot. Finish 10-6.
Yeah,
he's got the Dolphins winning that AFC East. It's gonna. I guess I'll talk.
You have the Dolphins winning the AFC East. Okay.
I guess we'll talk a little Dolphins. I don't want to spend too much time now, but the pessimist Dolphins fan was watching that game. Yes, because it was Tua's first official start in the NFL, and it didn't go so well. That first drive, I understand. We got the fumble turnover there and led to a touchdown immediately by the Los Angeles Rams. But Dolphins defense, man, those guys put in some work.
Byron Jones earning that paycheck.
For reals. And really an all-around team victory. Special teams got a touchdown. The defense themselves, Tua calmed down, was able to get those nerves together and
still inaccurate though.
Yeah, we're gonna get. There's growing pains there, but the game it did have a different feel to it compared to Ryan Fitzpatrick starting a game. Because listen, man, we love Fitzmagic, but we all know it's only a matter of time before we get Fitzception. And I still think this is a preemptive measure by Brian Flores to not let that happen. But you threw the guy to the fire, Tua, man. Right there against the Rams, a very tough defense. And they won. So It was great. I put in some, I sent you guys some Grinch gifts because I feel like as a Dolphins fan, I am the Grinch of Dolphins fans. I will poo-poo them at any single moment once things go wrong. And when the Dolphins do good, my heart grows 3 times larger that weekend. So my heart has grown so far. I do have the Dolphins jersey hanging in my office at the moment. The Seminoles jersey is in a very, very dark corner of my hamper and will not see the light of day anytime soon. Good. I was happy. It was great. That's all I'm going to say, man. I looked over, like Freddie says, the Dolphins should win out. The Dolphins, look, the rest of their schedule, we went over it. There are very winnable games along the way. They are getting through the tough part of their schedule, which is basically the NFC West, and they could go 3-1. I think their next game is against the Arizona Cardinals, so that'll round it out. They lost to the Seahawks, which was pretty close, and they beat LA and they beat San Francisco. So now we're gonna face Arizona. I don't know if we're at home or if we're going over there, but either way. If we go 3-1, that puts us in a great position because we have the rest of the AFC West, which is the opposite.
Nobody wants to win.
Exactly. Sheesh, man. If it wasn't for the NFC East, dear Lord, we'd be talking about them being the worst division in the league. And of course, they got the freaking Chiefs there. So, and we do face the Chiefs too. I don't expect us to win that one, but we can take out the rest of that West team, all right? The Raiders are on and off. They're Jekyll and Hyde. The Broncos are the Broncos. John Elway got the Varus announced today. And what else? And then who else is in that division? The Chargers? Yeah, the Chargers. And the Chargers are the Chargers. So, it's looking good, man. At the very least, get that wild card spot. I think we end the season against the Bills, so that could potentially be a division championship on the line for that game. Potentially.
What happened to the Bills? Is it just because they realized Jarrett or Josh Allen's not as good as he presumed to be?
They beat the Patriots, but a lot of people.
Yeah, but everybody's beating the Patriots.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that everybody's beating the Patriots. Yeah, they haven't really. I feel it's like they're leading the division by default right now.
Yeah, and I blame Cole Beasley for not catching all the balls I need to win my fantasy football game.
Yeah, how is the fantasy going for everybody?
Trasher Trujillo's in one division is 5-3, and another league he is 4-4, but in third place because of all the points I've scored. It's just last week was a bad week because I had DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson on bye, so you don't make it back from that. Those are your two guys, and that's fine. And the thing about bye weeks is you concede victory. Loss is coming. You accept it as it is. And when I lose a quarterback who's been averaging like 26 points, mind you, I had Matt Ryan. You got me 20 points. That's fine. And then you concede a wideout. Yeah, you get a wideout who gets you. Man, it's just Hopkins is so good, dude. Especially Freddie, in a PPR league, he's probably going to
winning record.
Yeah, well, Freddie, I don't have a gambling addiction, so I'm the big winner at the end of the day. I love Freddie, but 20. What was it? He said 20-something leagues or whatever.
25.
I want to help you. Let me fix you. No, he's just better than me. And then, I find it funny that I'm 5-3 and 4-4. It's because of product of how I draft. Because I have a lot of the same players. David Montgomery's in both leagues. DeAndre Hopkins in both leagues. Todd Gurley's in both leagues. Hands down. Because the way things worked out, I couldn't get to the others. I can quit whatever. So, you find that whole thing. But, there's only like 5 more games. And here's the thing. I don't look to the future of what my playoffs matchups might be, because I think I get into one. But I'll tell you this, and maybe Freddie agrees with me, 8-man leagues, they're a joke. Everybody wins. Those 10-man leagues, I'm like 5-3, and I'm only third in my division because all the other people are 5-3. I'm not going to know if I'm going to have the curse of greatness or tasting greatness until it happens. And I love that like nerve-wracking sense of it. because this is the point, and especially since COVID throws such a wrench because you just don't know. Because you can get an injury, you can find somebody, but a whole team might be out. I have the Baltimore Ravens defense. 8 players got put on the reserve COVID list. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean when Matthew Judon, Marlon Humphreys, are both out? And I'm just like, oh God, that's one of their leading tacklers, pass rushers, their top cornerback. What does that mean for me? I like it. It's a new kind of strategy. It's like strategy, that's advanced. It's like, it's just a new kind of way that piques to my interest. And of course I hit the spikes as I'm talking. Damn it, Sonic. Why you got to be a weak punk? So that's me. Andrew, tell me, how is your fantasy football? Are you happy-go-lucky? Are you angry yet?
I'm fine. Let's see. Pulling my team up. We won this week.
What's the record?
Thanks in no small part.
He should be 5-3, I think, because I know he was 4.
Yeah, I'm 5-3. Thanks in no small part to fucking Dalvin Cook.
Whew.
Christ.
Knowles.
He got a 51.1.
Yeah, Dalvin was insane.
And then DK did really well, 41.6.
Vikings winning a game I didn't think they would win.
But, the real MVP is Dalvin Cook. He just came out of nowhere.
If you have Patrick Mahomes, too.
I don't have Mahomes.
You're a double quarterback league, right?
Right, but someone took Mahomes first overall.
Smart.
Surprisingly, Matthew Stafford had a pretty decent game. He did 11 points better than my second quarterback, who was Derek Carr, who underperformed, and Stafford way overperformed. But luckily, I didn't need it because my projected score I outdid, thanks again to Metcalf and Cook. I outdid my projected score by 23. So yeah, it went well. 5-3. I'm in first place of my division.
Nice. Good job. All right, let me rattle off some scores. We're at the 142 mark. Rattle off some scores here. So just some stuff. Dolphins won. Falcons didn't choke away a game. Steelers remain undefeated. Beat Baltimore. Chiefs giving the Jets another loss. Always fun.
The Baltimore Chiefs?
I didn't say Baltimore Chiefs. I said, yeah. The Packers lost to the Vikings. So poor old Aaron Rodgers out there.
How is Adam Gase still employed?
They tank for Trevor. Come on now. Keep the eye on the prize. The Raiders won over the Browns. Of course, they lost OBJ, so but still. Bengals over the Titans, we talked about that. Pats lost. The Broncos 1 point over the Chargers. Seahawks spanking, well, not really spanking, 10-point win over the Niners. Saints squeaking by the Bears, who are just they're still there. I don't get it, but they're still there, leading their division. The Cowboys are a joke. The Bucks barely beating the Giants, and the rest of the teams were on byes. Okay. Let's see. Small segment out of the way. Let's go. You go, girl. We highlight women in sports. Learn about stuff like that. So today I have Michelle Roberts. Do you know who Michelle Roberts are? Or do you guys gentlemen? Do you know who she is?
I can't say that I do.
Okay, Michelle Roberts.
I've heard the name.
She is the executive director of the National Basketball Players Association.
Oh.
So she's held the title since 2014. She is the first and currently only woman to hold that position, leading a major North American pro sports union. So she's the first one ever. And of course, she was an attorney. So something we guys can aspire to. Never know.
And she quit being an attorney, which is even better. She really is a true MVP too.
Yeah. So apparently this woman is a absolutely bomb trial attorney. Like, she is legit scary if you are facing up against her. So you can see her career there. She was in 1980, so she went to Harvard UC Berkeley for law school, which is also pretty darn good. Wesleyan, she's from the South Bronx. She went to she started out at the PD's office in DC. 8 years, rose up to be the chief of the trial division. And yeah, she was just a freaking amazing trial attorney. Named executive director in 2014. It was 32 of 36 votes to get her in that position. She's an adjunct faculty member at Harvard at the moment, and the fellow at the American College of Trial Lawyers. The Washingtonian once referred to her as the finest pure trial lawyer in Washington. So there you go, guys. Michelle A. Roberts. Respect.
You go, girl.
All right,
What
guys.
do you guys want to run your organization? Would you want to touch that to any capability of employment? Aside from, and I know we've probably talked about it in the past, but not cleaning the toilets.
Well,
Would you want that burden?
Like run and like my favorite sports team or something like that?
Oh yeah, or anyway. Here's the thing: you don't get to run your favorite sometimes, or you just hire who hires you. But in any capacity of the business profession.
Let's say.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Keep going without me.
Okay. Let's say let's throw out a random team here. The Milwaukee
Brewers.
let's say the Milwaukee Brewers come a calling. Right? They just put up an embarrassing 2020 wild card banner up there. If I was running that team, that does not go up at all. You know what I would do? Just to stick it to Atlanta, because I always need to get a jab in. I would claim that Braves 1957 World Championship, and I'm just gonna put 1957 World Series champions, City of Milwaukee. Just gonna put it up there. But we already retired Hank Aaron's number up there. The Brewers have worn Milwaukee Braves throwbacks against the Atlanta Braves in a few games in their history. Just throw it up there. Why not? It's just, what's Atlanta going to do about it? They don't even recognize the stuff from Milwaukee and Boston. So
There's something like a good middle finger.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to run any sort of sports organization, or at least to call the shots for anything. Like you can change anything. You want to change the outfield walls. You want to make a 50-foot high wall in right field, and just be like, yeah, let's put it up there.
Because I'm always curious of how they get those positions when they transition from being, one to that. Like, I know how they get from agent to attorney. That's easy. That's not hard. Or attorney to agent. But I'm curious of how they get these other positions that come into it. I'm like, okay, what is your credence? What is your qualifications?
Connections, man. That might be a thing.
Yeah,
too.
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you are a trial attorney for these international law firms and stuff like that, like Michelle Roberts. I'm sure they've rubbed elbows with some sports franchises for sure, and sports agents especially, because she was Players Association, so definitely probably has connections with a lot of agents. So there you go. That's how it goes, man. All right, maybe one day a wrestling promo will come up to you, and be like, hey, can you be our counsel? And why not, right? Would you do that? Would you do that, Charles?
That's how. I think Vince McMahon should just hire me right now. That's how it currently.
I'm not saying Vince. I'm not saying there's the big dog. Like, let's just say, up and coming promo, and you could take them. You feel like your expertise and legal skill, whatever, you could take them to the next level, where maybe not mainstream, but you're there. You're in the conversation. Let's or like Impact Wrestling. Let's just say Impact Wrestling.
I can do Impact Wrestling. I can save it. I can save Ring of Honor, and I can save Ring of Honor about the sexual harassment claims, because that's what happened there. That was very bad stuff for them, right? I could do that. I know my worth. Here's my thing with any kind of position like that. I know my worth and my value. I don't want to get the effort to get there, you guys. Life is short. I don't want to be successful
my
at
gaming
60.
backlog is just huge.
Yeah, I want to be successful at like 32. So like less than a year from now, I don't want to. I don't want to be like 65 and making it. So I either want to win a lot or I want to get those cool jobs now. Because when you're older, it's all game over, pal. It's all game over. So let me have it now. But yes, I can run a wrestling organization. And then with football, my concern is I would feel like I'd be like Ted Thompson and be like, oh hey, treat everybody as you're poor. No one gets paid. Draft everybody and then replace them unless his name is Aaron Rodgers.
Jimmy Butler and Big Face Coffee doesn't even pay the kid.
Exactly. Nobody works for free. Gratitude. You have a purpose in life. God love some Jimmy Butler. The man's funny too.
Yeah. No, he's legit. Like that man is definitely cultured. Like he's just great. He's definitely made for today's age. All right, let's see. Because Andrew's gone, so oh man, I've done pretty much all the segments, but we have a real MVP.
Real MVP.
Yes, indeed. Goes to John Lester.
We love John Lester.
And you hope to get John Lester.
I do. We let J.A. Happ go. Sweet Lord, thank you, because you guys dealt with me for 2 seasons saying this guy's trash. And when I say trash, you could be serviceable trash. Trash is needed. Sometimes trash can be reused. Trash can be reused to help the environment and all this other stuff. J.A. Happ was not that trash for me. John Lester might be that trash. I know he only went like 3-3, had like a 5-something ERA. I say partially of that is because Corona, and I say because maybe he didn't have that similar run support like he did in Chicago compared to us. We need a 4-5. Desperately need him. Hell, we might need him by default to be a 3. That's the scary part because we don't have it. I think we're going to let Paxton walk. Mashiro, I don't know if he wants to take another 1-year deal because there's no job security in that sense. And so I'm sure somebody will at least give him a 2-year, $25 million deal. And Domingo Germán's probably gone. He hasn't played a whole season. He was gone for the whole season for the domestic violence accusations. And what's going to happen is that Luis Severino's going to get hurt again. But John Lester's going to be there. And John Lester's just an outstanding guy. Why? Because he understands the love of a city. He doesn't leave and do a decision, leaving his team away. He knows he's gone from Chicago. You know what he does? He goes and says, hey, go to my thing, get my favorite kind of beer. It's on me. He had like 31,000 or 36,000 in all that stuff going on. And then he left like a 34% gratuity. So a total of 47,000 went to free patrons of Chicago and getting that beer. So it's helping the businesses. It's helping. I died for no oxygen. That's not my fault. You didn't give me any oxygen. Just like Chicago giving John Lester no support. So you have that thing. And then you have him doing that for the patrons as a great send-off. Because they're like in pseudo-rebuild mode,
The Cubs need to figure out where they're going from here.
Yeah.
Their championship window could close right now if they don't figure out what they want to do. Do they want to do like the semi rebuild where you have to probably break up this core, but you can get a piece that could develop into the next core and you just keep a couple guys there to make that transition, hand the torch off for the next open championship window. Or you could stick around and maybe try and stick it out like the Giants did, really. The Giants at 2010 through 2016 when they were making all those playoff appearances. But after that, they kept the core together and it was all downhill from there. Now it's just it's a dying dynasty. It's a dynasty that died, and we see what's gone on there. So the Cubs could do that. But it's like, you guys can get something for, hey, maybe Chris Bryant. Maybe you need to get rid of Anthony Rizzo. Maybe Javi Baez is, I don't know. Maybe he's not ready to lead a team. I don't know what you can do. Wilson Contreras, there's some pieces there, right? You can trade you to his 5th team, all right? Why not?
And
he's
there's
valuable.
an AL guy who needs Kyle Schwarber. So many teams will take a lot for that cat man.
That's a DH spot. Heck, if the NL gets a DH, you can hang on to him and then trade him then if he still has value. But
I would even say, you know what? Trade you Darvish. I know he had a great year.
That's what I meant. he's been traded before various times already. He's still solid. He had a great season. I think he's nominated for a Cy Young in the NL this year.
He is.
So why not sell high? Why not sell high? Especially, let's say, next season, which I would expect would still be a shortened season. I'm going to assume that. I feel like we're going to get a shortened season next year.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's fair to make that assumption.
NBA doesn't know what they're doing. NHL doesn't really know what they're doing. They're thinking about a 7-team Canadian division right now. So I highly doubt Rob Manfred knows what the heck he's doing.
It'll be a cold day in hell before the NFL even shortens it. They're talking about expanding the 16 playoffs as compensation.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that say to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so John Lester, real MVP. All right?
Real MVP.
Somebody signed the man.
We are.
Signed the man.
I'll be a very happy dude.
Yeah, there you go. And he's 36, so this will probably be, wherever this is his last stop. This will be his last, maybe a 2-year contract, I would say, something like that.
Precisely. 2-year gig. And then you give it, that 5th forward-man rotation. That's all you can ask for sometimes. Because some of the old guys, if they have something to work with aside from a fastball, they're okay at that age. CC, case in point. Couldn't say healthy, but, there's certain things that are beyond our control. But there's value because you're contributing more than just that. If you have a curveball, if you know how to do a slider, if you have a changeup, you have this value intrinsically because of the fact that you can do so much more and outsmart your batters. That's what happens when you're an older pitcher. Mike Mussina did it. Mike Mussina's a Hall of Fame pitcher. You learn how to do it. So I'll take
Mike Mussina could have kept pitching, but he retired. He retired. I wouldn't say like Barry Sanders, but kind of sort of like Barry Sanders. He could have kept going.
Yeah, but Barry's a different story. Barry's just like Detroit sucks.
Yeah, Detroit sucks. I'm not going to die for this one.
Yeah, we're out.
All right, so John Lester, you did what you needed to do in Chicago. You brought them a championship. You were the first significant free agent that went there when Theo got there. So you did it, dude. You did it. Okay. I think that is it for all of our segments. So we have to head on out. We don't have a chance for bump, punch, scorn, or whatever the heck I called it.
Hug, bunch.
Yeah,
we got
just whatever. I was going to do
we
the
got to
Washington
do that with
football
Andrew
team.
because I want to see how he handles with that.
Yeah, next time we'll do the Washington football team.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi there.
Bump score. There we go. Okay, so let's head on over to the cage.
Ooh. Welcome, everybody, your weekly Truplex, The Cage with Charles. Now, full disclaimer, wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It is segmented. It is promoted. It is highly controlled. And it's that time of the year where those stories may or may not pause about being a ballet, a dance. It might go for brutality. It might go for viciousness. It might go for surviving because there's a certain Survivor Series pay-per-view that has to build up. But wrestling in all of itself could be a storyline, could be a soap opera. It's a man and women chasing championships, friends betraying each other, have no logical conclusions because we're going to bury people. Looking at you, Tucker. And then a couple other things that come into balance of it. Or sometimes you just want to beat the holy hell out of people. Now, folks, we talked last week about Hell in a Cell. We're building up the Survivor Series. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's give some updates of what's going else out there in the world. Impact. I don't know what's going on. I don't. We talked about it last week. Rich Shawn won the Impact Heavyweight Championship. Not a big fan of it because of keeping that title very loose, very bleh. Nothing that we could do for it. Very sad. Ring of Honor just granted or crowned a new Pure Champion. So I don't know if I went into details about the Pure Championship title and the special stipulations.
You've mentioned Ring of Honor, but we don't talk about Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but I'll explain to it because it goes into a point of what I have. So the Pure Championship for Ring of Honor is a championship that has special qualifications to it. It was something that was put in years and years ago, like very beginning, the first couple of years ago, like 2005, 2006. I don't know. AJ Styles had originally won it when he beat CM Punk, and then other people have gone into it. But they had predicated rules of what you could do. And from Wikipedia, because I don't watch Ring of Honor, I know about it because I thought it was a weird title. There's certain rules that go into it. Each wrestler has 3 rope breaks. So, grab for the rope to stop submissions and holds, you only get 3 of them. Right after you do that, all bets are off. The other one is no closed fist punches allowed in a pure match. Only open-handed slaps or chops are allowed. Here's my problem with this. It's wrestling, so everybody can tell you're not really punching somebody in the face. So that kind of takes away that atmosphere for me. And the third one is a wrestler is subject to a 20 count by the referee if the wrestler gets on the floor, so that allows more opportunity for them to fight outside. Who else does the 20 count? It's going to be New Japan, so they do that too. They don't do the 10 count. It's going to be now there for that, especially for the title. So New Japan does it. Everywhere else kind of does a 10 count. So they held a tournament. They did over the weekend, and they crowned Jonathan Gresham as their current champion. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it might mean that it gets more people interested in the Ring of Honor program. Right now they've been hit very hard with the COVID. They really haven't anything new except for this. This is my problem by crowning Jonathan Gresham. And I don't know any of their current guys that well as I used to, because when you're out of it for 9 months in wrestling, so much can change, and I haven't watched them in like 9 months. I know that Gresham was a tag team champion as well. So I don't know how I feel about double champions. My normal rule about double champions is
I feel like that's like an oxymoron.
Yeah, and one of it being a tag team championship and one of it being a singles championship kind of works sometimes.
Hold on, this kind of Andrew. Okay, I was looking at because that Milwaukee Brewers photo of their 2020 wild card appearance, even though they were below 500 team that got swept. People are posting similar things like regular season championships. Somebody posted the Minnesota Golden Gophers ring for like the Outback Bowl or something like that.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not exactly.
Okay. I'm sorry, Charles. Let me just show this real
quick.
Good. Let me just show this real quick. I'm sure it's on MLB Cathedral. It's fantastic Twitter follow, by the way, if you love old school baseball. And sometimes they do anything retro-ish, really. Milwaukee Brewers. There's the infamous 2020 wild card banner that they put up there. I hope our Lord and Savior Derek Jeter does not do such a thing. I doubt he would. I mean, the man comes from the Yankees, where they only recognize one solitary championship. Okay, let's see. So, let's see. Yeah, you got the Nashville Predators here with their regular season Western Conference champions, their Central Division championships, and the President's Trophy in 2018. Even though they didn't do anything in the playoffs that year. You've got the 2014 AFC finalist trophy for the Indianapolis Colts. That's a funny one. It's not even a championship. It's, hey, we made it. Let's see. We've got of course, the Detroit Lions, a poverty franchise. They have to denote how many times they make the playoffs as a banner, because they don't win anything.
Count on one hand.
The Charlotte Hornets had an attendance championship, so that was something. Minnesota Wild have retired number 1 for the fans. That's always a good one. Let's see. Oh, of course, the Clippers covering all of the Lakers banners with pictures of their players. Where's that Minnesota Golden Gophers? Oh God! Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Oh no! What? What?
UCF. People are posting you guys with the national championship.
Hold on, I need to pull up the Twitch stream to see what you're talking about.
Sorry about that one. I didn't know that was gonna pop up.
Well, they're not wrong.
This guy's like, we don't need your approval. We got the NCAAs.
That's true.
There's Matt right there to back you guys up.
I don't give a shit.
Let's see. The Auburns here. After winning division, and then lost the SEC title game and their bowl game to Bama. So there's that. let's see. No excuses. Let's see that one. Here's the Minnesota one. There it is. There's the Golden Gophers one. It wasn't a banner. It was a ring that they put here, and it's very gaudy for an Outback Bowl ring. I didn't even know they gave out rings for New Year's whatever bowls, But yeah, it's really gaudy, like just supremely gaudy. They were co-champions, like that's why I got the double champion thing. That's where that popped up in my head, Charles. So
there you go.
That's the aside there. So congratulations, Minnesota, on a non-championship, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that was an aside.
So yeah, double champions doesn't make sense unless you're doing a storyline feud. WWE does it a lot, like Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman being tag champs, but they were feuding for the Universal Championship at that time. Triple H and the Stone Cold Steve Austin were the power trip, where H had the Intercontinental title, and then Stone Cold had the heavyweight title, and then they both were tag champions. Here in this one, I'm like, all right, so Jay Lethal and you have the tag championships, and then you're the pure champion. Okay. So what? Maybe it'll bring in a base. Maybe it's something new. It is something that maybe wrestling purists like from back in the day when they did originally Ring of Honor. It was just interesting to me. Impact. Nothing really is going through that movement then and there at this time. I'll go with WWE so I can transition to AEW since AEW has the last or the current pay-per-view that's showing up. WWE. Weird stuff happened, guys, because right now they're setting up for Survivor Series. Last year they did SmackDown, Raw, and NXT all going against each other in competitive spots. This year is just going to Raw and SmackDown. I think it's because Vince wants to keep that main roster image to Raw and SmackDown and put that NXT as in developmental, or not even to draw NXT against AEW, because AEW has been dominating the weekly ratings for the most part. So they're building out the Survivor Series teams. Team Raw's they're giving some good matches, but right now they're having dudes just kind of feud against each other who are on the same team, so betrayals are coming in. But right now Team Raw is AJ Styles. It has Braun Strowman now, who had a good triple threat match last night against Keith Lee and Sheamus, both who are on there. As for the 5 members on Raw, Keith Lee, don't ever, and I mean ever, as Chris Jericho would say, again, do a over-the-rope salt, senton, or somersault, whatever the hell you call it these days, with you weighing 300-plus pounds, because if you could bring that up, Francisco, you're going to see why sometimes you shouldn't go the extra mile just to get cool with the fans, because his head, when he did the moon, or I don't know why, I can't think of it today, but when he did the somersault over the top rope, he connected his head with the part of the ring, and it was, a lot of kids like to say it. I don't say it, gnarly. I think gnarly, I just say cowabunga because I'm a real man. I acknowledge my Ninja Turtles love, like everybody else.
Photo or video here. People are mentioning it here, yes.
But yeah, he just did the a reverse. I don't want to call him a reverse missile. My brain's just not working. But he just went over the top flip, and I was like, no, don't do that. It was good. I mean, Vince has already ruined how Keith Lee should be booked anyway. The guy was booked like a god over in NXT, and then once Vince touches stuff, we can have nice things. Vince McMahon, you are the opposite of King Midas. You're the king like Smitus, because you smite everything I love, and I hate you, and you're tacky, and I hate you, as the kid in School of Rock says. But they're building it there. On SmackDown's end, as you look for it, I'll just go from there. On SmackDown's end, it's going to be Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. Oh, yeah. Is that, let me see, because remember, I'm always delayed on the Twitch.
Yeah, it's him going over the ropes and...
Oh, yeah. Real bad. Like
that's not even the video of it, but that looks like not a good time. That's about
so his head connects with the
that is a dive that messes that is oof.
It's not even like a suicide dive. Maybe I'm not even crazy about suicide dives, because the heavier they are, the more mass that you're carrying, man. And
there's the gif.
Yeah, they have the gif of it. Yeah, so his head just connects with that edge of it.
Pool, but don't know if I have a video of it. Oh, well, oh no, that is not good. Yeah, you can see the guys trying to brace him there, but
and you can't even just prepare for it, right? And also, if I'm Sheamus, if I'm Braun Strowman, that's a lot of beef. I don't know if I can catch that fully.
There's two guys trying to do that too. Two very strong men, and that's not easy.
Yeah, Sheamus and Braun Strowman, they're big boys, they're strong dudes, and that's still something that I wouldn't want to get in touch with, get involved with. So it's kind of concerning. Look, there's an image of it where you see where his head lands, right above the Elmo. Raw, it seems like they're doing a triple threat feud for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton won the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre's not done. It's weird, but I'm okay with it, even though this would lead to an additional month of feuding, because here's the reason why. Usually you have 3 matches, and in the rubber matches where you get the clear definitive winner of that championship. But the way they had it for Drew and Randy was Drew won SummerSlam. Drew won at Clash of Champions. Randy only beat him at Hell in a Cell. Clean, sure, but beat him at Hell in a Cell. So the idea is that, yeah, you need that cooling off match to definitively have Randy beat Drew for it to make sense, you know? So I'm okay with it, but they've also included The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in that. Well, why? Because there's history here. Randy used to be part of Bray's stable about 4 years ago on SmackDown when Bray won the WWE Championship the first time around at Elimination Chamber. Randy had won the Royal Rumble prior. So the whole thing is Randy betrayed the Wyatt family. You know, Randy had this whole thing, you know, if you can't beat them, join them, then wait to screw them. And so Randy ends up beating Bray at the WrestleMania that year for the title, only for him to lose to Jinder Mahal, which was fantastic because the crowd hated it. So, you know, the whole concept of The Fiend, as originally as we talked about when I spoke to you guys about what it was being created for, was for Bray to get his revenge on people who wronged him. We've seen that in the storylines. John Cena, he's done that with Daniel Bryan, doing that with Randy now. I'm very about it, but instead of having it be Fiend versus Randy, I think they'll get the proper match, but it's not going to be soon. They're going to have Randy, Drew, and The Fiend at TLC, because Survivor Series has already been announced that it's going to be champion versus championships, non-title on the lines, but everybody kind of gets to see something out of it. So that's cool. I don't like the fact that The Fiend's always going to lose, because even though I love The Fiend and I don't mind him with the title, he's not built for a championship. You create the storylines for the drama in regards to him. Championships let your guys do it, or gals do it, who are really great wrestlers. Everything else is in between. Love what they're doing with Bray and Alexa. She's now part of the Firefly Funhouse, because you got to remember, was the whole thing about The Fiend, it's a cult, man. It's a cult, and it's bad. It's real bad. So she's joined. She's fully turning dark side. Nikki Cross is trying to save her. You know, it's the battle for Lexi's soul, and I'm here for it. It's really good. The promos are good. I'll send you guys some of the stuff there. I know I had sent you guys something last week, but I forgot what it was, and I wish I referenced it as demeanor. It was like probably a match. I was like, it was the I Quit match that I talked about with with freaking Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA when he tries to stab him in the eye with a stake. That's still the greatest way to quit, because I don't want to lose my eye for you. Storyline wise, Jey Uso's evil now. He finally turned, but we know it's kind of like that forced heel turn, because he just basically beat the hell out of Daniel Bryan after the fact, you know, because Roman's like, you will fall in line, and then Jay's like, I'm with you all the way, and you're like, how's he gonna do it? He just
Palpatine for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So I like it. Jay went fully to the dark side by beating the hell out of Daniel Bryan, hospitalizing him in that sense, which works because Daniel Bryan, everybody loves Daniel Bryan. He's like the non-casual biggest fan, great wrestler. Everybody loves him for the stuff that he did in the indies. And what happens is now you get to do something super special and have, when he comes back healthy, him versus Roman, and have Roman not be in a family storyline to establish his greatness. Instead, you'll have him versus Daniel Bryan, who everybody loves, no one hates, and I can't wait to see him get murdered by that big Samoan named Roman Reigns. Because originally I thought they were just going to make Jay fall in line by maybe have him take Roman's Survivor Series match against Randy, but I'm okay with this too, because the whole thing is about legacy. It's like they're making him the Samoan Godfather. I was reading how someone said he's just basically like being the Samoan Thanos and trying to connect all the Samoans. So I find that funny and interesting, but sure. Think of at the moment, because right now we're on the cooler. Hell in a Cell was only last week. AEW, they have their pay-per-view. They have Full Gear. Full Gear is happening. I am not crazy about Full Gear. I didn't like their last pay-per-view either when it was just Botch City and everybody was dying. There have been some botches going on here and there. Alex Reynolds basically died in a fatal four-way tag match. I should send you that video. We want you to get better, Alex. Don't go from that. But, the build's kind of been interesting. Cody's back being pugnacious. He's going against Darby Allin. But the card itself, reading it down, you have Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. You already know my position on this. I've talked about this. Eddie Kingston, we love you. Follow us on Twitter. Sports Goofs, FJOJR, Charles is True, and Dan Frijoles. But you always work well on the mic. But, man, we know they're not going to give it to you. I wish they would do a swerve. Of course, my dog's barking in the background, the most important stuff. But we would love them to give it to you. They're not going to give it to you. Moxley's going to get there because I think it's going to be Kenny Omega who gets the title off of Moxley because of the story there. That's that. Speaking of Kenny Omega, he's going to be in the finals or presumably in the finals. Because they're doing the tournament. They were former tag teams. They were going against each other now. Kenny's full cleaner mode, full evil, going to betray his guy, and then he's going to get that title shot to Moxley. That's how life is. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. I thought this was done. Matt Hardy almost died for this. Why are we continuing this? It's going to be cinematic. They're going to call it the Elite Deletion. I don't need it. Oh, yeah, and I think what happens is we're really hampering down Sammy's credibility for this because Sammy technically won that last match. So why do they need to do this again just to put Matt Hardy over to be cool? Come on, man. You're better than this. I thought you were supposed to be not the WWE, which puts over for veterans of this sport. Let's create some new stars. Orange Cassidy versus John Silver is going to be in the buy-in, the pre-show. Love it. I love Orange Cassidy. I love John Silver. Watch on Being the Elite. The guy's hysterical. 5'7" of comedy. I'll tell you that right now. Chris Jericho versus MJF. I don't like anything about this. I love me some MJF. I love me some Chris Jericho. The whole thing is MJF wants to join the Inner Circle. That's Chris Jericho's group. They did like a song and dance thing. I gotta send you guys that. But he has to prove his worth. So the whole thing is that if MJF wins, he goes into the Inner Circle. It's all logic. It's good for business, but is it? You just came off of a title match. Moxley had to cheat to get in there because he wasn't supposed to use the paradigm shift. They just cooled you off very quickly. I know we want to get MJF and Jericho because some people feel MJF is the present-day Jericho of when Jericho was younger. I just don't know if we need it. Plus, we know the swerve's coming. We know somebody from the Inner Circle is going to betray, I would presume, Jericho and help out MJF. I'm hoping it's Santana Ortiz so they could do their own thing, but I'm not crazy about it. Plus, I don't know how that physical style would kind of go from there. I think they say Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose are going against each other. I don't know if that's confirmed. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin. I wasn't crazy about Cody getting the TNT title back from Brody Lee. If the whole purpose of it is just we could put this on Darby Allin, I don't understand why this decision was made. Right, because you could have Darby just beat Brody Lee, beat the Dark Order, get that underdog story against a fully big guy. I know Cody and Darby have stories together. They have history. The first time they went at Fyter Fest and went to a draw, and then Cody beat him and all this other stuff. But I don't get it. Now, that's just them. If they go Cody winning, I don't know how else you can do it unless we're going to put Scorpio Sky in a bigger position. I would like that, but what do I know? And then last but not least, FTR versus the Young Bucks for the Tag Team Championship. This should be match of the night. It should be. I expect it to be a big mixture of the old school versus the new school. New school being, flips and kicks. Old school being submissions and strategy. If it disappoints, that's going to hurt because I've already kind of talked about my dismayed card. Mind you, I'm not paying $50 for this pay-per-view. I'm going to do what every other respectable human being does and says I'll just watch the YouTube highlights and go from there. And if I know who wins, that's fine. The great thing about wrestling, you guys, is that you might know who the winner is and you still want to watch the match. Like I've heard Walter versus Ilya Dragunov was fantastic on the NXT UK that happened last week. I heard people were saying for a TV match it's 5 stars. I got to watch it. And I know Walter wins, but wrestling, you revisit it. You see it. It's not spoilers that bad. It's not like seeing a movie, and be like, I already got spoiled to it coming out of the entrance here. Oh, Darth Vader's his dad? Damn it, let's go watch the movie, you guys. That's a great Simpsons callback. I watched a lot of Simpsons for the Treehouse of Horror for the Halloween prep. Or even for sports. Like, I don't get people who TiVo sports to check the score and they see, I want to. I can't do it.
I could never pre-record. If I'm going to miss a game, you know what? Fine, I missed it. I'm going to,
That's what
I'll
Twitter's
just watch
for.
the highlights on YouTube, whatever.
Yeah, like I can't do it. But wrestling, you can always go back. And I'll go back and I'll go to appreciate something, man. I'll go to appreciate something and then it'll make me a very happy guy. And I end up enjoying it for what it's worth. Ooh, this election's close. I know we were going to hold off into it, but I checked the updates, Andrew. You can message me on that one privately. But yeah, so I'm just not crazy about it. And I want AEW to thrive. I know I seem like I'm a big WWE guy. You guys all know I like WWE more because of NXT, which Johnny Gargano, you are now North American champion. Congratulations. You won because someone helped you beat Damian Priest. I don't know where we go with the story. It scares me that Damian Priest is getting called up to the main roster. He's not fully ready yet. Or bigger picture, we're going to have Damian Priest be the first guy to go against Karrion Kross when Karrion Kross comes back from his shoulder injury to get Finn Balor. So I am interested in seeing it there. I just had to put that in there because I know I missed it on my little review. But yeah, I want AEW to succeed. But the last couple of segments, Charles has been a very disappointing guy. And Cody, if you're hearing me, follow us on Twitter too. We want you to do better, but make your booking kind of seem weird. Stop having everybody, get hurt. Because what happened was, I got to send you the Alex Reynolds bump. Private Party, there was a leg drop that hit his head completely. And he's out. He's out of it, man. Are you seeing it?
No. You just mentioned it, but it already sounds horrible.
Oh, so I'll show you the video. And the ref, the camera doesn't do anything. Alex Reynolds.
Oh, boy.
And this is live on TV, so no one's doing anything to kind of stop it to go from there. Butcher drags him over to the corner, and the guy's he's just not moving. And I'm like, all right.
If it can be seen on YouTube, I'm sure somebody's in. Let me see.
I mean, Twitter would probably give it to you.
Oh, this is it. Oh, no. Oh, nope. No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's a full hammy that's maybe 5 feet up, coming down with somebody who probably weighs 200 plus pounds.
And another human being also jumping on top of you.
And he's out. He ain't coming out of it.
That is, yeah, no. Oh, my God.
So you deal with an enduring 4-minute match and no one checks on him. The ref doesn't do it really. It's clear he's out. His tag team partner's like, for the love of God, he's already dead kind of, mentality. But they're just screwing up here. So that's my problem. And that's a little bit of the inexperienceness, or maybe that's the concern about doing all those. Because here's the thing. On WWE, people get injured, but they'll stop the damn match if they have to, or they'll make quick audibles. If you got to finish the show early, you finish the show early. You go from there. But you don't want to see good wrestlers, likable guys, be neglected for the injuries, such as Matt Hardy, because it's so relevant. Because even though WWE messes up too, here's the thing: I'm not playing favoritism. WWE messes up too, you guys. There's instances that have happened, but
AEW has claimed a lot of the videos of that, so people don't see it.
Yeah, well, you got to protect yourself. But when you talk about it, those injuries, I would say this: WWE wouldn't run that sloppy shop to have like Matt Hardy essentially continue on wrestling to finish the match. You could just end it, and people might be ahead of time but get knocked down. Same thing with Alex Reynolds. You could have done a makeshift. It was a fatal 4-way. Who remembers what tags are anyway? Just put somebody else in. Don't continue. Someone's got to drag you. So it's scary, but not big, not crazy about it. It is sometimes how it is, folks, and that's the wrestling business, and that's what we deal with. All relative, all the same. That being said, I wish him a good pay-per-view. I want you to succeed. I want you to have good competitive wrestling. What's going on with NXT every Wednesday? Watch wrestling. That's all I got for you this week on the show in a very crazy election that could be dealt better if we just did everything in Hell in a Cell, where somebody had to acknowledge somebody as their own tribal chiefs. Think of that.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's it for number 82. We'll come back next week. As always, thanks to Freddie for joining us here. Thanks to you two as well for joining us. Thanks to our non-sponsors and our actual sponsors for this, and the small but slightly growing audience that we are gaining, because we broadcast to so many different things that we have to pick up some people. And we apparently do. Doesn't get us.
Do we get sued if I sing the Flintstones thing, 10 million strong and growing, or whatever the hell it was?
Well, we're not on YouTube, so I don't think we'll get any sort of complaint from anybody.
Excellent.
Okay.
We're going to be the Goofs Nation.
Yes. Goofs forever, as Freddie coined it.
Oh! Can we call it Goof World Order and call ourselves a GWO?
I'm cool with that.
Get some nice T-shirts. Hey, that could be our next theme, because me and Andrew were discussing doing a little makeover for our show. Maybe that could be a thing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put it out there.
Sure,
right
somebody's
now.
made the font for that somewhere on the internet.
Everybody who was cool in 1997 middle school. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm just making a suggestion.
Oh my God.
If we do have a cage thing, maybe that would be the black drop. It's a GWO, maybe, or something in relation to it. Or, I don't know, Goof World Order. I'm about it. Or should we Sports Goof World Order? Things that keep me up at night.
I'm good with Goof World Order.
Yeah.
WO.
You just have to replace one. If you add the S, it loses. It loses something.
Maybe if you can make the G kind of have like the S bottom, depending how you do it too.
Yeah, or like some sort of graphic thing that makes it look like an S is in there. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
The possibilities keep me very moist.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna end it there. Oh boy, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
If you're not GWO, then you're nothing.
Yes.